Okay, let's unpack this. You might have seen headlines recently about a travel YouTuber, someone whose life is, well, seemingly all about sharing adventures online, being arrested on incredibly serious charges.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those stories that sort of catches you off guard, right? The contrast between this online persona and, allegations involving national security.
Exactly. So this deep dive is squarely focused on the stack of news reports and sources you've shared concerning the arrest of Jyothi Malhotra. Our mission today is really to guide you through this specific material, pulling out the key details to understand what's being alleged and, importantly, what the investigations have reportedly uncovered according to these sources.
Right, we're sticking to what the reports say. So, looking at the details presented, we have Jyothi Malhotra. She's identified as a 33-year-old travel blogger, a YouTuber, based in Hisar, Haryana. The arrest itself happened on May 16th, and the core accusation reported across these sources is she was allegedly spying for Pakistan, sharing sensitive information.
And the charges detailed in the material, they're quite specific and pretty serious. She's reportedly facing charges under Sections 3 and 5 of the Official Secrets Act, that's the 1923 Act, which deals broadly with espionage and leaking sensitive info.
And there's more. Also, Section 152 of the newer Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. This section deals with acts that could potentially endanger the security or, sovereignty of the state. It's also worth noting these sources mention her arrest isn't isolated. She's apparently one of several recent arrests across different states, all facing sort of similar allegations.
The sources also give us a little bit of insight into what happened right after her arrest, mentioning her court appearances. She was reportedly brought before a local court the day after the arrest, May 17th, and was initially sent to 5-day police custody. That custody was then extended after another court appearance.
Yeah, and there's that quite human detail included in the reports about her father. He apparently tried to see her at court but missed her. According to him, as quoted in the material, he was just given the wrong timing for the appearance, which must have been incredibly frustrating.
Definitely. So moving on from those initial legal steps, the sources then pivot to the investigation itself. And this is where, technically speaking, things get, well, pretty staggering. These reports state the police have recovered a huge amount of digital evidence. We're talking 12 terabytes of data from just 3 of her mobile phones.
12 terabytes. It's hard to even picture that volume of data just from phones. The sources also mention her laptop data is still being examined, and they're looking into the details of her 4 bank accounts as well. That forensic process must be immense.
It really must be. I mean, 12 terabytes from 3 phones. Just to give you some perspective, that's way beyond just, text messages and call logs. What does that sheer scale potentially imply about the kinds of data they're sifting through based on what the sources suggest?
Well, based on the material, yeah, that kind of volume from phones usually means everything. We're talking vast amounts of personal communication messages, across all sorts of apps, emails, probably a massive library of photos and videos, location data logs going back who knows how long, browsing history, app data. It's a digital life laid bare, really. The sources indicate this presents a huge forensic challenge. But the initial forensic report, as cited in these sources, apparently suggests this data includes direct contact with at least 4 Pakistani operatives. The reports also mention she allegedly received, quote, special treatment during visits she made to Pakistan, though the sources we have don't really elaborate on what that special treatment involved.
Right, okay. The sources do get a bit more specific about one alleged contact, though. They report she's admitted contact with a Pakistani officer named Ehsan-ur-Rahim, who apparently also uses the alias Danish.
And the material describes how they reportedly first connected. It was apparently at the Pakistani High Commission when she was applying for a visa to visit Pakistan. What's also flagged in these reports is that she was allegedly in touch with this individual, Danish, during a period of military conflict following an incident back in April. That timing is obviously presented as significant.
Yeah, that reported contact during a sensitive period certainly adds another layer to the allegations as presented in these sources. And the investigation, according to this material, isn't just about digital stuff and foreign contacts. There's also a reported probe into a visit she made to a specific temple down in Kerala. The sources don't really detail the connection there, just note it's part of the ongoing investigation.
Okay, so if we try to bring all these threads together, based purely on the reporting in these sources, there's a really crucial distinction being made. The Hisar police statements cited in the material seem to confirm the contact with Pakistani officials. That seems established, according to them. But, and this is key, the material also explicitly states that so far, no evidence has actually emerged indicating she had access to sensitive military or defense information. What does that specific detail, as reported, tell us about where things stand according to these sources?
Well, what's interesting there, sticking strictly to the sources, is that it suggests a potential gap, or at least a current lack of evidence, between contact and espionage involving state secrets. The reports confirm the connection, which might relate to parts of the Official Secrets Act charges regarding contacts.
Exactly. But by clearly stating that evidence of access to or sharing of sensitive military or defense info hasn't emerged so far, the sources seem to be saying, okay, the contact happened, but the really high-level spying, the kind involving classified defense details, we haven't found proof of that yet. It really highlights that while there's a lot of data and confirmed foreign contact reported, the specifics of what, if anything, was actually shared, particularly top secret stuff, is either still under investigation or hasn't been found, according to the material we have. That nuance is critical.
So, stepping back from the details,
Right.
why does a story like this, based on these reports, matter to you listening? It really touches on some very current themes, doesn't it? How online life, being a travel vlogger, building that public persona, can suddenly intersect with these incredibly serious, real-world allegations involving national security.
Absolutely, and it underscores the just mind-boggling scale of digital data involved in investigations today. Think about that number again. 12 terabytes. From just 3 phones. It also highlights the complexities, doesn't it? The complexities around information sharing, around trying to understand intent and verifying connections in this world where so much happens online.
It really does. And maybe that's the final thought to leave you with, something to mull over. Just consider that sheer volume again, 12 terabytes recovered from 3 phones. What insights does that figure alone offer us about the depth and breadth of our own digital lives today, and maybe the challenges we all face in navigating information, intentions, and security in this incredibly connected, data-rich online world?